My name is Josh Greenberg. I'm an associate professor in the School of Journalism and Communication, teaching in the Communication Studies program. I've been at Carleton since 2003 and have incorporated community service learning initiatives at both the undergraduate and the graduate level. And I want to tell you about one course in particular, Communication and Community, which I developed a few years ago for our fourth-year students. In this course, which runs for a full term, students work in teams of approximately 4 and 5, and they are partnered with a local charity or nonprofit organization based in Ottawa. Some of our community partners have worked in the areas of mental health and addictions, affordable housing, environmental sustainability and conservation. And really the point is to bring in community partners that reflect and represent the full range of student interests. Our students are very active in volunteering, and the idea behind this course is to provide some point of contact between their real-world interests and their volunteer interests and experiences and what they're learning in their communication courses. It's a way of encouraging them to see the application and applicability of the theories and methodologies they learn about in communication to help them to address and solve, in some cases, real-world problems. So in this course, students work in groups of 4 or 5, and they're partnered with a local nonprofit organization. And the idea is for them to develop an evidence-based public communication campaign. The goal of the campaign may be to raise public awareness, it might be to increase fundraising, or it could be to enhance policy advocacy. Sometimes it's designed to deal with more than one of those things. And I want to tell you about one project in particular that was particularly successful. This project partnered students with a local mental health service provider that is also involved in policy advocacy and a branch of a local bank. And this partnership between the mental health service provider and the bank, the idea was to increase and to provide what they called a banking accessibility program. And the banking accessibility program was designed for people who have mental illness, who have never used a bank, who have never had their own accounts, and to increase their autonomy, their independence, and to provide them with a sense of financial empowerment that previously was unavailable to them. The challenge was this was a program that was only available at a pilot level, and both the organization, the nonprofit organization, and the bank were interested in expanding it, and they needed to convince other branches that this was a worthwhile initiative. So our students worked collaboratively with them to identify what the strengths of the program were, what the opportunities were, and how to identify and target specific audiences, notably people at other branches, in order to encourage them to adopt this program and to grow the program across the city and then eventually across the province. One of the challenges, of course, is that students in communication don't have the subject matter expertise either in banking or in mental health, addictions, homelessness, and other related issues. So very early on, the students had to commit themselves to a lot of quick learning about those issues if they were going to develop an effective campaign that would highlight those issues and help to expand the program. This is a real challenge for students in such a compressed time frame, but they commit themselves to doing so because they really see the value and importance of the project. So the students, over the course of 12 weeks, developed a campaign. At the end of the course, they pitched the project, they pitched their idea, developed a professional presentation, which they gave both to the community partner and to their banking partner. And the partners were so enthused by the idea that they applied exactly what the students had advised them to do, and were successful in expanding the program both across the city of Ottawa and into other cities as well. One of the real things that I learned, one of the real benefits for me as an instructor is it allowed me to test in some ways some of my own ideas about nonprofit and charity communication, which is an area of active research interest of mine. But it also allowed me to see for students who are graduating from our program, who are going out into the workplace, to identify what it is about the study of communication that has wider currency. And I'm very happy to report that a lot of the students, some of whom were in that project group themselves, have gone on to careers in professional communication, many of them working in nonprofit and charity organizations, doing public awareness, raising public awareness, pushing for changes to public policy, and increasing the fundraising and donor base of those organizations.